This is a very old AC unit and it works. It works just fine. But the only problem is those blades that direct the air do not work. So if we get a closer look, this AC is probably as old as this house, since the early 2000s, 1996, 1995. From when I was born, basically. So these have no tension on them. So what I'm going to do, we need to fix that if we can. We have a lot of tricks up our sleeve, so let's try to see if we can get this fixed. We need to first remove the cover of the AC, and normally there would be a screw over here and a screw in this little hole. Little cubby hole, but there isn't. There's only one here. So we can remove this one and take the cover off to expose the business side. We're going to use not a Phillips head screwdriver, but not a flat one, because this is not a Phillips head. So we'll remove this screw. Remove the cover and we can see it's not even attached to that axle over there. This is supposed to be attached and this is just rotating freely. And the motor that controls the fan, the blades, is right over here. So this is, I'm assuming, like a version of a stepper motor. So yeah, it's not working at all. So we need to see whether it is the problem, we need to change it, or just the connection between the two. And then later on we'll give this a bit of a refreshment. Okay, so the AC is on. Now the focus is on this. Let's try to change the fan manual swing. Not be working, so let's isolate this part. But so we'll remove this indicator panel first. There's a small screw holding it. We'll remove that, and then we can get access to the screws of the motor, because we have a screw over here and over here to pull this assembly out. So let's get that out of the way. So that's the motor and the assembly that attaches to it. It's definitely seen better days. So let's turn it back on and to see if we have any motion going on at the spindle. Let's turn it on. It's on. Swing. So let us expose, let's see. So it looks like it connects over there. This is the connection for the motor. So let's remove that and see, get a closer look at the individual piece. See what's going on. But first we need to turn off the main power to the AC before we disconnect or connect anything. Okay, so that's the switch done. Okay, so this is the board. Let us move this a little bit out of the way. So the motor comes from here and into this little socket. Okay, I'm gonna need to use both hands to remove it. So that's the motor, it's out. Let's take it to the workshop and see if we can confirm it's dead and maybe fix it, or if we need to replace it completely. Okay, so this is the motor. The only way we can test it is connected to a stepper motor driver. And I have one from Arduino parts, so we can plug this into here and into an Arduino and test if it works. We're gonna use this Arduino Nano we're gonna program it, and we are going to send a signal to this driver board. This is using the ULN 2003 driver, which is going to power this. So let me find a micro USB cable. This into here. I'm gonna plug it into my laptop to see if the Arduino is up and running. Arduino is up and running. Excellent. So this will go, zoom out a bit. So we have two wires here for the supply, which can take from 5 to 12 volts. We're gonna give it 5 volts. Let's find where it is. 5 volts. So the black one is the positive. So go to 5 volts, just over here. And I'm gonna connect this one to ground, just over here. Okay. And then we will need to connect in 1 and 2 and 3 and then 4. Those connect to the wires over here to get the signal from the Arduino. So I'm gonna connect these. I'm following a demo from online. And we can connect them 8 times 11 digital signals. Okay, digital signals. That's fine. I made the female. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's done. And get a slightly smaller screwdriver because one's a little bit too big. There we go. Let's have some light. Okay, so all the digital pins. So we can connect it to the screen. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Let's do that. 8. Can you see what I'm doing? Yes. I don't know why I'm trying to put all the time once. So I'm going to screw down to the last project. Let's just with it. There we go. Excellent. Okay, that's good. Now, since that is done, let's find where the code is. Now remember, I'm not sure all my coding skills or anything. I'm literally just going to copy and paste it into the Arduino IDE. It's as simple as it gets. Let's give it a moment to start up the program. Okay, so it's uploading the code, so I'm compiling it. So I'm compiling the sketch. Haven't used the IDE in a while, so there are some updates that it's doing at the same time. If this works, we can clean it up a bit and try to restructure this arm over here. That's the issue. Over here and over here. That's what controls the fins. The blades, I mean. And clean it up. If it doesn't work, we can just get another one and replace it. We can also, but it might also be a problem from the board. But I doubt it. We can clean up the board, use some contact cleaner and see what happens. It's uploading. It's done uploading. Okay, so there's something going on. Yeah, something is not working right. Yeah, I can feel something in it that's trying to move. Okay, so it might be seized. I'm going to disconnect the power now. Disconnect it from here. So it looks like it is a bit seized. So let's try to clean it up. Surface rust. That's it. Okay. Let us get some, I don't know if this will do the trick if we want to bend. Okay, so we managed to remove it. I just did it a bit forcefully, and I think we can clean up these gears. This is like we're gonna fix a watch now. So let's see, this is the main one that turns. Yeah, I think they need a good cleaning. So let's do that. So let's get some good old tweezers and see how we can get this up and running. Let's remove this one first. Yeah. And they're gonna need some new grease as well. That's the second one. This is the third one. I'm also trying to keep them in their orientation. Fourth one. Okay. Put that aside. So that's how we can access this. Oh, well, there's one here as well. Okay, so that's on the inner side of it. Now there's this plastic barrier. Let's see what its deal is. The rust has accumulated into here. Let's get some lubricant in there, help to loosen up all of this rust. There's the straw. That should be good. Okay. So this will pop up. So let's do that a bit carefully so nothing goes bad. See, I like doing this. I like going to the component level and fixing the component itself. Let's get this a little bigger from each side. I'm doing this so carefully so that nothing flies out all of a sudden. Okay, there we go. So that's the stepper motor part in here. What's holding this down now? See, there's so much grime. No wonder this thing doesn't want to turn. I think we could remove this in one way or another. Okay, so this is the rotor. Then I think we're gonna have a magnet. I'll put my tweezer inside and let that expand into it. If that will work. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's the inside of the inside of the inside of the inside. Yeah, definitely needs to see some better days. Okay. I want to try and remove this cover. And it looks like it is budging a bit. Let me clean my tweezers. I'm sorry guys, you couldn't see much over there, so this is the other part. I'm going to try to get this out as well. I'm trying to take advantage of those holes. Okay, that's budging. How about if I let gravity do the work a little bit? Okay, it came out along with a lot of white stuff. Okay, so let me destroy that. You will notice that the video got interrupted, whether it was in the editing or whatever, because the phone ran out of battery. So we cleaned up the stator pretty well. Let's put the microscope to the side a bit. And we have these parts, which we also cleaned up rather well. I'm just going to make a quick inspection for each one. I want to find my normally closed tweezers. They're somewhere around here. but I haven't used them in a while, so okay, I cannot find them right now. I'm not going to waste time on that. I want to inspect this, so I'm going to put a bit of the. You can actually see where the microscope lines up. Lines up right over here. Okay, so that's the view of the microscope. Let's clean this up a bit more. I think the best thing is to put it into some oil. Like that. Like that. And then we can get going and wipe this clean. I remember I found a small picking tool in one of the kits. There it is. So this should wipe out. And no, it won't. The thing is, when I work with electronics, I know how small things are, but when I work with gears, I kind of underestimate how small it is. There we go. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's it. We're good on that part. Let's do the second gear. Some people might say I'm putting too much effort on this, but I'm enjoying it. You just have to make sure that it will work when we're done. So I'm using this sticky stuff. It's a stationary product, just to have a bit more control. I think that's good. Give it with the. So I think we're good on that. Let us start to reassemble this. And let me get some Vaseline to prepare. Let us give you a better view overview. See how we can make this work. Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, the first part that goes over here is going to be this tiny spindle. But whether it should face up or down, I have sort of forgotten. Let me review because I took the previous video and put it on my computer. I was going over it to see what went missing and what is still recorded. So let me double check whether this spindle should be facing up or should be facing down. Okay, it should be facing down. So I'm going to take it. I think we can go back to the microscope view. Okay. First, I should probably clean it with a microfiber cloth because if I don't, there will be a lot of unnecessary friction because of the microscopic hairs. And before I do, let us apply some Vaseline. I'm trying to figure out how I would apply this Vaseline. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the actual spindle Okay, and we will press it down. So we can see it's not properly installed, it's catching onto a few sides. Something is not right. So that part is still up. Okay, got that out. It actually turns. We have these parts as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first one. That's the second one. Third one. And then I'll put the spindle first because it looks like that's what we want to go first. Mm-hmm. So I finished the cleaning and the reassembly of camera so that we would still have some battery power left. So we reassembled the motor, we plugged it into the driver. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it is working. It's turning, but at the speed that it's supposed to turn. Maybe if I change in the code a little, stepper speed 30 and put it at 100. Execution error. Okay, needed to check the port. Uploading. There we go. It's alive. Can you see it's turning? Okay, excellent. So let's see how we can fix this. This part, cleaned it up. This part attaches over here, and this part goes over there. Okay, so that's straightforward. Nope. Funny thing is that was the largest size of ferrule that I had for this. Maybe if I take this and I cut it open to make it just a little bit wider. Let's do that, it's worth a shot. So if I just take this and cut it like that, and then I can take the center punch, the pin punch kit, next size, a bit too big. I think that will work. Now I'm gonna cut it down the center. Maybe I will expand it a little. A little bit more. Is this the size of... Yeah, this is probably the size, that's why. So if I'm good. Okay. So I'm literally just trying to reconstruct this in a good way. Because I do not have a 3D printer. Okay, that looks good on that side. I'm trying to get most of it to be on this side, just like that. Then what I can do is just to trim it. Okay. And to keep it secure before these ferrules fall over, we can use some super glue to keep everything in place. So that's done like that. Now I don't think that this is the same size for this to fit in. Yeah, it's not going to be the same size. It's going to be the same size as the actual blade that has to go in here. So I think the best thing that we can do, let us secure this part with super glue, and then we'll do something about the center, and then we can reassemble, but something just to catch any adhesive that we wish to apply. And then we need to take care of this, which attaches to one of the blades. We removed the blades that direct where the air will go. And on this side, because it's broken, I put in a screw just to extend it. And we're probably going to use some type of super glue or epoxy putty to get everything into place. And the motor is up and running as we saw. Now we need to give the AC some cleaning before we install everything. So I want to remove this so that we can clean everything on the inside. So we have to disconnect this drain pipe to remove this all-in-one and rinse it out with water properly. I think the last part we'll clean is this part inside. There's a lot of dirt. So let's do that before we reinstall everything. And the electrical parts, just with a brush. We'll go over everything with a brush. Remove any dust, especially in there, maybe with a vacuum. Okay, everything is back. We put this back into place. Everything is working nicely. And now we're going to take the motor and the assembly. We'll plug it in and put it into here, because when we want to put the fins or the blades, whatever you want to call them, we might have to put some strong permanent adhesive just for them to move. So let's see how that goes. Let's first plug in the motor, which goes right over here. And you can see that's the driver right next to it, that little chip. That's the ULN 2003. You can see ULN 2003 AN. Nice. So let's take the motor, plug it right in, just like that. There we go, all done. Now we can take the board and press it back in. Now there's this little clip over here that's being a bit stubborn. Let me use my other hand to plug it in. We returned the clip, it was a bit stubborn. Now we're gonna put in the screws for the motor assembly to stand straight like this, and then we'll see what plan we can do to put the fins in and secure them. We put the motor back, we put the LED indicator panel back. We fixed the thermocouple, the temperature sensor in front of the grills. Maybe we can straighten these out a bit, make them look good so that we can have maximum airflow. There's like only 2% of them are bent over, but we can fix that. And then we'll see what to do for the last stage. You see these little, it's like a ball bearing, plastic ball bearing, so that there is no friction and the blades can move smoothly. We can probably give them a little bit of oil so that they're good. We'll dry them and put for them some oil. And this is what it looks like over here. That's where the fan blades will plug in, and we'll see how to fix them with some adhesive. We put the blades back and we used some 2-part epoxy to fix it to the mechanism over there. So that went well. Now I turned on the power. Let's see if they move. Oh yeah, let's go. They're up and running again. We have excellent airflow. I can feel it. Yeah, that is working nicely. There we go, look at that. Alright, let's put the cover back on. Now they close. Mission complete.